يا مساء الخير والنور والسرور. هنا يقصد انه زيت الزيتون يتأكسد وانه غير مناسب للطبخ، والافضل استخدام زيت الكانولا لانه ما يتأكسد بسرعة او يحتاج درجة حرارة اعلى للتأكسد. السؤال الاساسي، ما بعد دخول الزيت الى داخل الجسم ايش اللي حيحصل؟ هذا السؤال الاساسي. اترك الان الاكسدة على جنب. ما بعد دخول المادة هذه إلى داخل الجسم ماذا سيحصل؟ هذا واحد. اثنين، ما هي التفاعلات الكيميائية أثناء التسخين؟ بعطيكم أو بحط لكم الحين فيديو قصير بإذن الله تعالى بتفهمون السالفة من الألف إلى الياء.
Everybody seems to have exactly the wrong idea about olive oil. People think you can't cook with it at a high heat. They think that'll make it bitter, or worse, it'll make it toxic, carcinogenic. Now, whether high heat makes olive oil taste bad is a more subjective question. The health question is an empirical one, though, and the science is compelling. Extra virgin olive oil has demonstrated to be the most stable oil when heated, followed closely by coconut oil and other virgin oils. That's according to this Australian research from 2018. Yes, this is research from a lab that works with the olive industry, but it's peer-reviewed, and there are quite a few studies from all over the world that have come to similar conclusions. From a health standpoint, extra virgin olive oil is actually way less problematic at high heat than the oils that people say you're supposed to use instead. Things like canola oil and grapeseed oil, the so-called high heat oils. Those are actually far less stable at high heat. But what does that mean, less stable? Well, I'll tell you one thing it's not about. It's not about the smoke point.
So the science are more and more pointing that smoke point has little correlation with when the oils start breaking down.
This is Dr. Selena Wang, Research Director for the Olive Center at the University of California, Davis. Yes, her center works with olive growers, but that's hardly uncommon, and everything she's about to say is backed up by research from lots of people.
I think that's what people are worried about when the oils start breaking down and start producing potential toxins. I think that's what people are worried about, but for some reason that's connected to smoke point, which is not a direct correlation.
Indeed, oil that's smoking is hot, and when oils get really hot and stay really hot for a long time, they can become harmful. But that does not mean that oils that smoke sooner become harmful sooner. That's a notion that you will see repeated by lots of normally reliable sources, but Dr. Wang says it simply is not supported by the most up-to-date research. Smoking is just the thing that you can see. You can't see what actually matters a lot more from a health perspective, and that is the oil breaking down.
From a technical standpoint, that's basically when multiple chemical reactions that can happen, such as hydrolysis, oxidation, reactions that cause larger molecules to break down to smaller molecules, such as aldehydes, and some of them that have neurodegenerative reactions that could cause, for example, Parkinson's or Alzheimer's diseases. So that's the research is pointing that oxidized lipids, which is what's in the oil, contribute to that kind of illness.
And potentially the big C. Research indicates that eating oxidized oils promotes free radicals in the body, and that can cause cancer. But
the research shows that the most dangerous situation is when you use the oil repeatedly. So, for example, if you purchase food from a restaurant that basically never changed their oil, that is actually the real concern regarding carcinogens. But I wouldn't worry about it if it's just everyday cooking at home.
And there's even less to worry about if you're cooking with olive oil. Olive oil is primarily a monounsaturated fat. Most of the vegetable oils that people say are better for high heat cooking have a lot more polyunsaturated fat, and they therefore are much more prone to oxidation. Olive oil is monounsaturated. And if you get extra virgin olive oil, it's going to be rich in natural antioxidants like polyphenols. These will counteract the oxidation as the oil cooks. Now, the opposite of a virgin oil is a refined oil that has undergone various physical and chemical processes with wholesome names like degumming, neutralization, bleaching, winterization, and deodorization. These extend shelf life and reduce the bitter and pungent flavors that some people don't like. The problem with that is the source of that bitterness is to a great extent the antioxidants themselves.